My mother's husband had a fall in their home, and we ended up at the hospital. He needed to be admitted because of a hip injury, and my mother really wasn't able to stay in her house by herself any further without somebody being around. And one of the staff at the hospital came in with a card from TLC. Somebody had been around that morning, doing a little bit of talking about the facility and things like that. You never picture your mom to that point in your life that you have to make that kind of decision. And we did go to other places in the community, and we talked it over, and she said, I want to go live at Will's house. So we went to Will's house, which is TLC, and it was kind of rocky at times. She was still well enough, and he was still well enough once he got discharged from rehab and stuff, that I want to go back to the house. You can't go back to the house. So, as heartbreaking as it is, and as hard a decision as it is, it comes to the point that you do have to say, this is where you belong. You need somebody to be responsible for you 24/7. You don't know if your folks are taking their medications properly. Their dog was getting real fat, so I knew that they didn't know who fed him and when they fed him and how many times a day they fed him. Personal hygiene wasn't what it used to be, so in my heart of hearts, it was the best for everybody concerned. And after the period of adjustment, Mom got back to her old self. She was vivacious and very social, and she'd sit up at the counter in the kitchen and just jabber away when there was nothing going on, or she'd peel some potatoes or talk recipes and all that kind of stuff with the staff that was there, and she enjoyed that. They had a dog, and the dog was taken in with open arms. He became everybody's favorite. He was a little Yorkie, and it was basically, take me, take my dog type thing. And other places would have taken him too, because he was so tiny. But, Will's house. Will's house was the one. When there is something that happens in the middle of the night, they always know they can get in touch with me. I think I have a pretty good rapport with all the staff members, and Will and Linda also. And it's wonderful knowing that they can, like I said, get a hold of me anytime, that I can travel, go see my kids out of state, know that they will, they know exactly where I am and how to find me 24/7 is what it boils down to. But when, as simple as when hurricane season comes, I know that they're in a place that is probably better able to handle a hurricane than my own home. I mean, they've got all the power that they need, they meet all the regulations and the state guidelines and things like that. So that's important to me. And that there's a doctor that comes once a month, and he sees Russ and saw Mom. So it's good, and I know the medications are good. I know that they're going to eat 3 meals a day. I know that they're going to get snacks, and they do have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm hungry for this, so, and they get it. And that's a good thing. And they have their little idiosyncrasies with their diets, and the staff knows that, so they help them out that way. They do try to cook organically as best as they can. Dietary needs, of course, people have dentures, don't have dentures, and things like that. So they can customize mealtime, and along with the favorites, they get the other stuff in there too. Near the end of my mom's life, she required a lot of care, so they had Hospice come in, and that was a great comfort. It was the same lady that came every day, and that was comforting to me because of the continuum of care. It wasn't somebody different, somebody different, somebody different. So the continuity that the staff there provides, as well as how they handle the hospice, the care for her. So that was great. There was one thing that always sticks out in my mind when my mom had her 90th birthday. There were several September birthdays, and they always had a to-do lunch, late lunch, or some type of meal. But this, and quite often when they do that, they have entertainment come in, and there was a small group, men that played and sang songs. And my mom's memory wasn't quite as good as it used to be, and we were sitting on the couch, and I was sitting next to her, and they were playing and singing, and all of a sudden I could see her mouth was, and she heard the song, and she said, "I know that song," and she started clapping, and she started singing, "I know the words." And that party for that birthday for all the celebrants went on way after I left, and I know that they helped her up and they danced with her. She had a little birthday princess crown on, and I went out of there that day and my heart was full. It was the best for her.